Just start it random.
No, you told me not to!
It's better when you
I told
start
you
it.
not to. I want professionalism here.
It's better when you just start it randomly and we're just like, oh, we're in line, and like we laugh and then we just get on.
I think we've...
We're live.
See, she kind of took my advice, but at the same time,
You guys can't say the same thing at different things at the same time, and then expect me to not react in ways that work.
We're sorry.
It
We're
still
sorry.
says it still says that we're offline on
He's
the
talking
thing.
about Aaron. He's confused. He's Russian. What do you expect?
I don't know.
I'm Russian.
You're Russian. What
I
do
don't
you
know.
expect?
What's
It's a
going
bit
on?
weird.
I felt that's French or something.
That was a really bad accent. But
Italian.
I think we are live, even though my Twitch is not showing that we are live. But hi, everybody, and welcome to MangaPod Book Club. I am Aaron of Happily Aaron, your host, and with me are 2 out of the 3 of my lovely co-hosts. How are you guys? I mean, I guess our 4th one is here. It's just taking a break.
Oh yeah.
Some water.
Looks very relaxed.
Yeah.
Look at the ripples. Some ripples. Great. How are you guys doing? Dazza, welcome back.
Hi.
We missed you last week.
I didn't miss you guys because I was sleeping. So.
Oh, well.
Nothing beats
I
sleep.
did watch it afterwards, and you guys seemed very what's the word? Hyperactive.
We did. Was Yoku hyperactive?
No.
Even I think I was like on the boundary.
It was like good 20 minutes where Yoko's like trying to talk and there's nothing happening for him.
We
And I'm just like, oh.
We discovered that we really need Dazza. Like Dazza was saying earlier, we're off screen, that we need Dazza to bridge the gap between Dodgers and my weirdness and Yokorama's seriousness.
If it wasn't for Dazza, we would just fall apart.
That's why we were unprepared
That's a
last
fact.
week. We didn't know who was going to do the Doctor Dazza description. It was super unprepared. It wasn't nearly as good as yours is. It was all fall apart.
And yet you had a countdown, and we didn't get that this week. It makes me sad because we never had a countdown.
Because last week when I did the countdown, everybody got super flustered and didn't know what to do. And so then when I asked if we were going to do a countdown this time, Yoko said no and Dazza said yes, and it was just too conflicting, and so we didn't do one. Welcome to MangaPod.
Yep.
We get together every week after we have read part or all of a manga, and then we discuss it with randomness, friendship, and love. This week, we read Blood Lad, chapters 1 through 27. There was some confusion because we thought that chapter 28 was translated, but I couldn't find it anywhere. So we just ended up reading chapters 1 through 27. This podcast is going to be super in-depth with all of the spoilers. So if it is a manga that sounds interesting to you and you don't want to be spoiled for it, this video is going to go up on my channel, so you'll be able to watch the VOD of it later after you've read. Nice. I like
Dazza.
it.
It's only water.
If you want to watch the VOD of this video, it'll be up on my channel afterwards. And if you also have just heard the title of the manga and you don't really know what it is, we're going to give you a super short Doctor Dazza description, so that if it sounds interesting, then you can go and read it without being spoiled. But if you don't care about spoilers, we also just really like having you here, so no big deal. Dazza?
The vampire Staz is one of the most powerful district bosses in the demon world, fending off everyone who dares challenge him. But secretly, the fearsome Staz is obsessed with human culture, especially video games, manga, and everything that comes from Japan, just like me. When a Japanese girl wanders into the demon world, Staz can't wait to meet the human and everything he can about her world, again, very much like me. Unfortunately, before he's able to ask her anything, the girl is killed by one of his would-be upsurgers. Is that the right word, upsurgers?
Sure.
Leaving her bare soul behind. Staz vows to help the girl restore her body and return to her former life, especially since it means taking a trip to the human world himself.
Oh, wait, I don't have glasses. That's not fair. I can't rip my glasses off.
You should do the opposite. You should put on some glasses. Just like.
Mind blown. Thank you, Dazza. We missed your Dr. Dazza description. I could not do it nearly as good as you did.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It wasn't the same.
It wasn't the same.
Erin wasn't as good as you at all.
She tried. She tried. She gets a gold star.
Yeah,
for
yeah.
trying.
I don't even think.
Yeah,
I don't
you
even
do.
think. I don't even think she tried.
I tried. This isn't
You
fair.
tried your hardest.
This isn't fair.
But-
This is why I need Dodgers because she's
But
nice
your
to
hardest
me.
wasn't good enough, so sorry to break it to you. I'm just kidding. Erin's awesome.
Uh-huh.
I think you made her
Go on.
cry now.
Go
I think
on,
it's the first
Yoku.
time one of the hosts has made another.
But that's
host-
good. That's good.
Sorry.
We need more emotion in this, and like somebody breaks out in tears and somebody gets angry. That's like that's
It's
drama.
not emotion.
you know?
For a Kono birthday.
Exactly.
People cry
Yeah, we
on
should.
drama. All right.
So that's
Yoku.
what you're doing. You're just thinking about the good of the people. That's why you're slowly killing me with your harsh words.
We're like 5 minutes in here, and I'm already like tearing the group apart.
Welcome to MangaPod. We get together with friendship and love and talk about manga sometimes.
Well, Erin and I have friendship and love.
Yeah,
Yoku-
I don't know about that mean butt in the left-hand bottom corner down there, but whatever.
Yeah.
That's spoiler-free as this manga is going to get, or it's MangaPod, whatever. It's spoiler-free as this MangaPod is going to get, so if you do not want to be spoiled, then go ahead and just say goodbye now, even though we love you, but if you don't care, then feel free to join us. So, oh.
What? What happened? Yoku left.
Well,
but I disappeared. my computer froze for a second.
well, I guess we know how he feels.
my computer.
What was your final rating, Yoku?
Yeah, jeez, apparently he
My
really
final
hated it.
rating was from 1 to awesome. It was. No, I'm not gonna spoil my final
Don't
rating.
Spoil it.
We still got another hour of talking, so let's go.
Yeah, we do. Okay.
Something firstly before we start.
Yes.
Notice how we're like 10 minutes in and we've started talking about the manga already?
We're
That's
getting
a record.
better. We're getting better at that.
Alright, what's missing?
Dodger. She's here. What do you mean? She's right there. She's in the corner.
She's gone.
Just taking a nap.
She's taking a nap. So guys, should we? Okay, let's start off. Yoku, you'll come back eventually. Hopefully.
Yeah, I'm here.
What were your expectations for the manga before you started reading it, boys?
I'll start because I've read it before. I read the first 20 chapters like a year and a half ago. I think that was the latest chapter out at that moment. And I wasn't impressed because at that moment it was also like a series that it was already talked about. And I think the anime was just kind of like rumored. It was still rumored at that point, or like it was just like kind of like slowly being announced, you know, because the anime was delayed so many times before it finally came out this season. So I decided to just check it out, and like I wasn't impressed. It was the only thing that like I really liked was probably the art. That was the thing that like I really liked. But the main thing that kind of annoyed me was that it was very similar to Blue Exorcist. Like, I don't know if any of you guys felt that, but the main character looked like the main character from Blue Exorcist, and I was just that's probably because I was reading and catching up to Blue Exorcist at that moment. Dazza?
What?
I think
Oh, you can still see me, can't
I'm
you?
pretty
I'm
sure
fake
Yoku
funny
can
face.
still see you, Dazza. That's not how cameras work.
That's weird. Does my camera not work?
No, you're back now. With your
Yeah.
teddy bears and everything.
But yeah, like, I don't know. I think it's because I was reading it during the time when I was catching up to Blue Exorcist. I was kind of annoyed that the main character looked so much like Rin from Blue Exorcist.
He just
but
looked like him. You didn't think he acted like him. It's just the.
no, he still acted a bit like him. He's still like one of those typical type of shonen characters that just jump in out of nowhere and just like all this like powerful and power ups and stuff. But coming back to it now, like a year and a half later, I enjoyed it more. I did, probably because I wasn't reading Blue Exorcist at this point. so it was an interesting read. Like again, I love the art. That's probably my favorite thing about the art, especially like some of those epic moments during the action scenes. They were just great. And apart from that, it was all right. And I think I think it kind of got boring for me after like chapter 20 or
Oh,
something like that,
really?
or like 18. I didn't care too much about that whole like twists, you know. Oh, we're sisters. Like I don't know.
I liked that. We'll have to get. I'm excited for this discussion then.
Yeah.
Because I feel that. Hey. Does it? You wanna go, or I can go?
I'll go.
Okay.
Well, I actually watched the first episode before reading the manga, and I was more expecting something more along the lines of Soul Eater,
Oh,
because
really?
the art style of the anime was very much like Soul Eater, and I was expecting that kind of humor. I was pleasantly surprised it wasn't like that, because while Soul Eater is very shonen, Blood Lad is very seinen in its humor, and it's very seinen in the way it portrays its story and stuff like that, and that made me really excited to keep reading more. I will say though that the exposition was quite long. There was lots of dialogue throughout most of the chapters, and it got a bit tedious to read, and it took a long time to read some chapters. But other than that, the initial artwork looked great. I thought the story is very interesting because it appeals to me, and and yeah, that's just what I'm gonna say. It appealed to me, and I was pleasantly surprised that it wasn't the generic. Oh, look, she's naked for some reason, and I
There was
like
still
the
a lot
art.
of naked.
There was still a lot of naked, but luckily the characters actually look good naked.
That was in my top 3 favorite things about the manga.
Mine too.
What?
What? It can't be? What? It can't be? I can't
Oh,
like the
alright.
naked,
All right,
big-breasted
Alright.
women.
Aaron, why don't you say your first impressions, then I want to ask a question.
Okay. I was really excited to read this manga because I had read the synopsis a long time ago, and I knew that the anime was coming out, and so I'd been wanting to read it. I just never had never gotten myself to read it. I was really intrigued by the synopsis because characters, just the way about Stas, I really like characters like him. Just the I don't really care, laid back kind of a feeling. Like those kind of characters always are really interesting to me, because they always seem to have a little bit more depth than you first expect them to. So when I first started reading, right away I was instantly hooked on it because the humor really hooked me on it. I really enjoyed the humor right away, and I also loved the art. So it definitely took more twists and turns than I was expecting it to. The story isn't going at all where I initially thought it would be going. I thought it was going to be much more of like them going on a journey, whereas it's like just these bunch of like little random off things that are happening on this in the storyline, which I'm really excited about. Like I really like that. I wasn't expecting it. So I overall am really, really enjoying it, and actually enjoying it more than I thought I would be, even though I still thought I was going to enjoy it, but I'm liking it more than I thought. And like the characters, I really enjoy all of the characters, and the fact that each one has such different sides to them. You don't really, for me, I can't really tell like for sure who the bad guy is because it keeps just popping up like different ones keep having little bit evil moments, or like you're like, are they the bad guy? I don't know. So overall, I'm really enjoying it so far, and liking
That's
it
good.
more than I thought it would be. And there are lots of boobs.
There are a lot of boobs.
I would like to ask, okay, is it just me, or do the girls look really good in this manga?
He
Like
did.
the boobs?
He did do. He,
No, just
he did the
character design.
curves.
Oh.
He did the curves.
They
all
have
are
really
curvy.
nice
I
curves. Their
noticed that
faces
too.
are nice. I'm just like, this has to be one of the sexiest mangas I've read. But hey,
They're-
that's just my opinion.
Okay. I agree that I really enjoyed the body proportions on the girls because I thought they were very realistic, except for the boobs. Because boobs that go like this, like, just bug the crap out of me. I don't know, the boobs looked really weird. Like, they look good and everything, but they still looked weird to me. But I still agree that they were very sexily drawn. I think the girls looked really great. Guys, you can have your boobs. I'm not hating on the boobs.
I think
just
you're hating
saying.
on the boobs.
No,
I
I'm
think you're hating the boobs.
No! I love the boobs, okay? The boobs were great. Just thought
Did you
they
hear
were a
that,
little
David?
Alright.
strange. at
Alright, 3 thumbs
points.
up for the boobs then. It's all
Yep.
good.
Boobs!
Oh man.
I'm not racist, I like the boob. Yeah, no, I agree. I think the ladies were drawn very well, but I also think that the men were drawn very well. I thought the men were drawn very handsomely. If you get boobs, I get handsome.
Sure, I guess you can take
You
that.
guys, where's your energy?
Take that and run.
I don't know. I don't like shark teeth on guys. They look
I love
vampirish.
They're
Well,
vampires.
it is a vampire.
Well, exactly.
That's perfect, though, isn't it? Yeah. But I kind of want to kind of rephrase what I said. I kind of came off as like completely hating the series. It was still pretty cool. I enjoyed many moments, especially those like little parts. I don't know if it was like translating, like the way the translators or the scanlators translated it, but like all those references to like other mangas and animes and stuff. Those were like awesome. References is one of my favorite things when it comes to like any series, you know.
Have you guys seen the first episode yet?
No, I want to. I just have not been able to yet.
Yoku, did you?
Not yet.
Then I can tell you that all those references are actually in the show as well. So
What?
So it's a thing then.
Yes!
the first episode was the first 2 chapters, I think, and the Dragon Ball Z reference was much more in the actual anime as well. You could tell there was Dragon Ball.
Yes. I loved. What was your guys'? Since we're already talking about it, what was your guys' favorite reference that they made?
Kamehameha.
Okay. Yes. I
Come on.
loved it. It was the best. I loved when the guy just punches him in the face. It's like, why the heck are you taking so long to power up?
Yeah,
Like,
it's
why
like
are you
that
wasting
just
your
made
time?
fun of that whole like concept of like shonen characters just powering up and like the villain just standing there looking at him. You know, this guy's like, I'm not gonna let you power up. Like, what the hell is that?
And then he goes like, even Frieza isn't this rude.
Yeah,
Jeez.
the whole lot. And then it cuts to Fuyumi, and she's like, he is gonna get copyrighted someday.
No, that was definitely a highlight moment of the series where I was just like clapping, like yay! You know, it was great stuff.
They all of their humor was very witty. I thought they had a lot of really witty humor, and I just really enjoyed that because it played it throughout, even during like tense moments. They had the nice little witty that didn't take you out of the moment, but still kept the characters in character and made it really funny. Like I loved when in one of the last chapters we read when Staz asked Fuyumi if she's a virgin, and then the next page he's just in a completely different place.
You see, what's her name? Just
And
like
she has
the thing. She's just like
dusting her hands off.
Yeah, but yeah, I think I do like the witty humor. Like the mangaka put some really good writing into that. But for me, the story itself was kind of lackluster. Like, it wasn't that great of a story. I don't know. Maybe it's because I've seen so much stuff kind of like similar to it when it comes to the actual, like, you know, rescuing the girl. I'll do anything for her. Do I have feelings for her? And like, you know, stuff like that. It's kind of like it's been done so many times that it just didn't impress me. But the witty humor definitely kept me interested throughout.
I think what this manga is setting out to do is really to make fun of battle shonens.
Yeah, it did feel like
I really
a parody.
felt throughout it. So it's got like a really kind of cliche shonen type of like plot where it's very simple and very easy to grasp. But then there's this whole like advanced layer of character development and dialogue and wittiness that kids wouldn't really get, but humans get. Like, not humans, adults get.
No, that's it. That's the quote of the episode. Kids aren't humans.
Kids aren't humans.
And,
Come on.
I'm so lucky I'm not American. That kids kind of wouldn't understand, especially considering most of the references in it are actually from our childhood, like Dragon Ball Z, Final Fantasy, the PlayStation, and like, what was it? Staz said something. What was it? With the phone. I think it was the phone. And he's like, "What's this? It's a touchscreen."
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's sci-fi. Yeah, that was great. I remember watching that from Star Trek, and they had that little, you know. So that was pretty cool. That is pretty cool. And I guess if you look at it from that way, I could forgive the whole story being so cliche.
Yeah.
But it it plays off as having like a parody genre, like a subgenre to it, but it doesn't play it off as much as it being like a parody of shonen itself. Like it didn't feel like that to me from the beginning. It just felt like it had some references, it had some funny moments here and there. So it depends how you really look at it, and maybe it's because I was reading it for the second time. Like I said, I did enjoy it better, or I did enjoy it more than the first time. So I guess I could forgive it its clichéness the way you explained it. I'll be positive. Be positive.
You can be negative if you want to.
Yeah, you're allowed to be negative.
Yeah.
We're just gonna beat you down for it.
Yeah, with our words.
Words most.
I agree with Dazza that I think it's setting out more to as like a satire parody of that genre of like the plots and everything. So like the very underlying thing, like Dazza's saying, it's very easy to follow and kind of seen it before, but the way it's going, it's taking much other like different turns to not be just that. Like it's still seems to have some more depth to it than I feel like other shonen plots do, I guess. But go on. Yeah.
I was gonna say, I was reading it. I was thinking, this seems very shonen-esque. So it's like the lower seinen kind of like demographic, like maybe 18 and up, just a little bit 18. And I kind of like thought of like compared to Shingeki, which is like very seinen shonen, who's like upper shonen bordering on seinen. I thought it was kind of like a good comparison earlier. But anyway.
You're comparing Blood Lad to Shingeki? What do you mean?
Well, you know how Shingeki is very dark at times, very gruesome, very bloody, but it's still a shonen. It's shonen through and through.
Yeah.
Right, but it's still upper shonen. I thought this was very, Blood Lad was very lower seinen. That's how I felt. If that makes sense. If that doesn't make sense, then
No, that makes sense. It's like the least.
I mean,
it's like the least serious seinen, pretty much. It's like when it comes to like regular seinen, it's just a little bit below. When it comes to its like seniness.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's like the dumbest explosion.
I don't know how else to explain it.
No, but I totally get what you're saying. Like Attack on Titan's like up there above all like average shonens, but this is a little bit below when it comes to not quality, but when it comes to like the actual content. Yeah.
Like when you look at this compared to something like Berserk or Old Boy or what's another seinen we've read?
We've read.
We'll get back to it. But yeah, when you compare it to that, it's kind of like, oh, this is really fun and happy. Not saying like senens can't be fun and happy. Look at Kaon. Kaon's a seinen. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
Spoiler: everybody dies in Kaon.
Con.
Kate
Everyone dies in Con.
Con. Shower Con.
Who so far is your guys' favorite character? Let's ask this question. Who are you guys enjoying the most?
I gotta look up her name.
Baru?
Yeah, I like Baru. She's the best. And my least favorite's Fuyumi. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Okay. I like her at times, but her personality is just really dull to me. Like overall, I think she's just really
Fuyumi?
dull. Yeah.
Yeah, like she's this like just nice girl. She went to out of nowhere, living her regular life. She went to the like demon world, died, and now she's like disappearing. But then she's just like acting all nice and stuff. You're right. I'll be like freaking out. She accepted it too easily, and she's just kind of like in the background character. She's supposed to be a main character, but she feels like a background character. But that last chapter kind of pushed her out a bit more because she's sister with Baru. I guess that's kind of cool.
Yeah, which is like making sense why she would have ended up in the demon world because
they were like, well, how'd she activate? Because I turned it off. How did we activate it?
Yeah, so like that makes sense, like why she would have that kind of power because apparently that runs in her family.
Yeah, but so far all she's been doing was just being protected or fought over or whatever, or being passed out most of the series. Or most of the parts that we read so far, and that just made me not care for her at all, especially her being a main character. Like, damn, Baru is such a like way better main female character, and she's not even like classified as a main character, which is lame because she's totally a main character. Like I love almost every moment she's on the screen because she's like you can't predict her. You really
Yeah.
can't. She always does something weird. She has these like sometimes she's all like happy and then she just gets all serious and like kill intent and then she just becomes all normal again and you're just kind of like,
Yeah.
damn, what a roller coaster ride.
Damn, girl.
And we got to see her. Yeah.
Yeah.
Some-
Yes.
Those were a lot of funny scenes. Like the first time when Stas he accidentally went to her like I guess like place dimension
Yeah.
and she was just she was like trying to seduce him. That was just hilarious.
When she tried
That
to
was-
seduce him, and he just
she's
like immediately just backed away. Was just like,
she's like, can I see your?
Can I see
He's just
your-
like.
I will
Oh.
say, I really like her, but I do not like the forced romance. Her feelings for Stas like feel so forced to me. It feels very, I don't know, like it just didn't develop really. It just seems like, oh hey, now I have these feelings for him. Why won't he ever look at me? I'm like, this just feels really out of nowhere. Like I don't feel the chemistry between them at all. And like even from her, I don't feel her. I genuinely don't feel her feeling anything for him like she says she does. Like it's really written. Like I just don't.
I understand
feel
that.
it.
Yeah, I could see. Yeah, I don't feel it as much either because mainly she just didn't she didn't care for him at all until she found out that like he possibly might be the guy who's like this powerful enough to take and like and then like she saw the power. Oh, he kept the promise. He got the bullet out. That wasn't for her.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just it is kind of forced. It is kind of out of nowhere.
Super forced.
But I still like it. I think it's. I just don't like Fuyumi. That's probably why.
Aw, yeah.
So-
I don't honestly. I'm gonna say I do not. There's like no couples in this that I see together. Like even with like Stas and Fuyumi, I'm just like I still like that. Still feels kind of whatever to me. Like I just don't see any romance between like.
Fuyumi hasn't showed any interest towards Stas. There was a little
There's
bit.
been a little emotion.
Well, there was like a part where she.
Her
was,
being nearly sexually assaulted is not emotion. At the start.
Yeah.
Come on.
No, that's not the part.
No, I'm talking
I was
about the
talking
part
about.
where you know how he showed up after Beru's brother like kidnapped her,
Yeah.
and he showed up and he's just like. Don't talk to me right now. I'm busy. Whatever. You just like don't look at me. He walks away and he comes back and he starts talking to her. She's like, "Whoa, you just said don't talk to me." And then she
Her
walks
little
off. But
feistiness.
the thing is that doesn't mean there's like any feelings though. That's just how girls are. If I come up to some random girl and say like, "Don't talk to me," and then like later come back and talk to her, she's gonna be like, "You just said don't talk to me. Get away. Look to the hand."
I wouldn't say that's just girls. I would think that's people.
It's girls. It's
That's
girls.
people.
If somebody comes up and tells me don't talk to me, I'll be like, okay. No, I'll be like, okay, and then they come back and talk to me. I'll be like, what's up? Why'd you say don't talk to me?
Okay, not all girls would say that either. I don't think we can define that to just gender.
I'll say majority. It's a girl trait from the girls I've met, my personal experience. Okay, I'll just say that.
Okay, we
Well,
can agree.
The chat can decide.
No, everyone's gonna turn against me.
I
going
am not
against-
having part of this conversation.
I'm not going against you at all. You might be.
I'm just
complete-
gonna be standing here being like, yeah, whatever.
As I know you agree with me, you've met like majority of girls that it comes
I
to
think majority of girls.
it comes to attitude.
Yeah, if a person comes up to you and is like, "Don't talk to me right now," and then they try to immediately come back up and talk to you, it's like, well, I don't understand.
I've known
I
guys
wouldn't say
do that
I wouldn't.
too.
Yeah, I've known
I'm sorry.
guys that do that.
I've known a lot of guys that do that, and I'm just like, well, you can go stuff yourself, dude. I don't care.
Yes.
To be fair, I do that to a girl as well. If a girl comes up to me and says, "Don't talk to me," I'm like, "Fine, go away then. I don't care."
Yeah, I'd be like, okay, then I won't talk to you. Okay, whatever.
Clearly you're
Some-
a bitch.
That has never happened to me actually. When a girl came up and said don't talk to me. So.
Somebody in chat, Lurving You, said Wolf Yumi as a couple, and they are the only people I take back what I said earlier about not seeing any romance. Wolf, I love Wolf, and I think I see a little bit more chemistry between him and Fumi than I did between Stas and Fumi.
Why does Staz even like her? I don't even get
Because
it.
she's the first human he's ever met.
That's it.
No, I think he. How old is Staz, by the way? I'm just curious. I forget.
They have not
They
said.
did not mention
I'm
any.
assuming he's like stuck in like a six. Well, no, because he was a baby at one point. Like they showed him as a child, so I'm assuming he's like 17. He looks in the 17 and 18 age.
So he's hormonal. He's a vampire. We all know
Wants
how
the
that
blood.
He's an otaku vampire.
He's an otaku. Could you imagine? All right. This is gonna be. I'm gonna generalize for a bit, but I have just been to an anime con, so I'm allowed to generalize. But guy otakus are very awkward around girls, and when one talks to them or is presented in front of them, especially one of Japanese descent that is mildly attractive in a schoolgirl outfit, they're gonna lust after them. Just saying.
Yes.
So.
But he doesn't have like the other traits, like standard traits for. I don't know what I'm saying. I don't know. He still seems very like. What's the word? I don't know. Somebody else talk.
He's kind of. It feels like he's not supposed to be Japanese, right? Because he's just some empire.
No.
And he's kind of like the way he made up his mind about humans. It's all the stuff that he read from manga, like that part with Beru with the whole panties situation. He's like, well, if in the manga, then I would just put it on my head, and then and stuff like that. It's not like he like, oh, I'm gonna put it on my head. It's kind of a little bit different than actually being
the tropes.
Yeah.
The tropes, yeah.
But that's also coming back to the whole he's only read manga and knows how to interact with girls through manga.
I guess that's true.
So.
Yeah.
Because I won't say, but I may have seen some of that sort of situation happen at AVCon over the weekend. It was a bit awkward.
I bet.
Yeah. That is awkward.
I'm just saying, grown guys do that because they don't know any different, and it's weird.
Daz, okay, let's move on. Dazza, you earlier looked like you were wanting to say something about Fuyumi. You looked really sad, so I want you to tell us your feelings about her.
I like her. She's cool.
Why do you like her?
Why?
Because, firstly, I don't like blonde chicks that much, so... Yeah.
I kind of agree with that. I'm not... Blonde is not my favorite hair color.
That's true. Okay. No one,
Right.
We all have our preferences. That's not the... Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. And, that's probably the only thing.
Oh, wow.
You like her because she's not blonde?
And she came in a school.
Because she what?
Because she came in a schoolgirl outfit.
I love you. I love that you're just
Okay. Throughout the manga, I actually started liking Beru a lot more and enjoying her character a lot more. Although I did see a lot of similarities between the two of them. Mm-hmm. And of course, those similarities were then confirmed a bit later on because of reasons. So, but I prefer Fuyumi than her. I don't know.
She is
maybe I like.
Huh?
Maybe I prefer the shy girls and stuff like that.
Is it the more shy, like reserved nature?
Yeah, I'd probably say that.
Yeah, like the passive.
Well, not to say Beru not being shy isn't a bad thing. Girls going forward is a great thing. Just she should be a bit more forefront with her feelings as well.
Beryl?
Yeah. Why can't she just be like, dude, I like you. Come on.
She wrote it in her diary, okay?
Yes.
That was funny. I liked, okay, wait. The part that made me laugh the most with Fuyumi is when Wolf made her wear the bunny outfit and she like had the sign, the start round one, and she just started spinning and Stas is like, what are you doing? Like, it's like, what is going on? Let's talk
It feels like he doesn't have any attraction, like actual like sexual attraction to her. Like, what's up with that?
Right, see, I don't feel, like, I feel...
He just, it feels like he feels the need to protect her, but not in a, like, I guess, a relationship type of way. And just, like, he just feels like he needs to protect her.
That's but he only he liked her and wanted to protect her because she was a defenseless human.
Yeah.
Now she's a demon.
Demon ghost. She's like caught in between or something, right?
She's a vampire as well, part vampire now. The blood. I don't even
I think
know.
something else according to the last chapter as well. But
Yeah.
What was I gonna say? I was gonna say that talking about the whole like Staz romantic connections. That's something I noticed, that the romantic chemistry between like Staz and everyone is like very. What's the right word? It's not very tight. Like it's very fuzzy. Like it's not. What am I saying?
Oh, I get you. It's not.
Okay, I'm glad you understand me. Okay.
There's
So
not much.
There's
There's not much.
force.
Like
It's not
concrete. It's
yeah,
not,
concrete. This is the word I wanted. Concrete. And so, but between like him and like his brother and his sister and his friends, like those character interactions are so much more natural. Like him and Beru when they're friends feels really natural, and I really enjoyed that. But when there's any sort of romantic that comes in between Staz and anybody, it feels so forced.
It's
Like,
usually one-sided though. It's usually from the other.
It's really one-sided. But even between him and Fumi, like I don't feel anything from her to him really either. I guess we already talked about that, but I don't know. It is weird to me.
No, but I do agree that the family relationships are really cool. Like the way they showed the whole problem with Staz's brother and younger sister.
Yeah.
And then later on showing how Staz was acting like an older brother to his sister. That was awesome. That was really cool.
I did like the character development with his sister as well. Like Liz's character development went from "I hate you because you did this bad thing" to kind of like, "Well, you're my brother, so I have to accept you," to "I'm going to help you because you're my brother."
Yeah,
I thought that was really cool.
Liz is one of my favorite characters.
That was honestly my favorite, like, I guess, relationship between any of the characters. So that was the most, I guess, impactful.
Yeah. It was the most that, like, yeah, like you said, like, impactful. Like, it was the one that touched me in my heart places the most. I really liked that one.
Yeah.
I thought Liz was great. Also, I realized another reason why I think Wolf and Fumi are really cute together is because Wolf gave her a piggyback ride.
He kind of had no choice.
But it happened, and it was adorable.
And then he threw her on the bed because of her leggings.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm in a weird mood.
Yeah.
Don't worry about me. I'm just gonna sit here.
I like to think that just kind of like slipped out, and then you realized what you said, and you were like,
That was great.
That was amazing. Let's talk about the brother. Vlad. Vlad or Braz? What's his name?
Braz.
Braz or Fraz?
It's like no, it starts with a B.
Does it start with a B?
It's Vlad D. Braz.
All right.
Right? Vlad.
Sure.
Hey,
Let's
Braz.
go.
Braz sounds great. Let's talk about him. What do you guys think his deal is? Is he good? Is he bad? What's going on with him? What's he happening?
I want to say that he's neither good nor bad, but he's got a different purpose.
Ooh.
He's not a typical good or bad character. He's kind of doing something that we don't know about because we haven't read that much, but he's got some sort of underlying motive that I think actually helps his brother a little bit, but just not in kind of like the right way.
Yeah. Like
I think he just like wants to. His main, I guess, goal, in my opinion, is to better the like demon world. That's his like main goal. That's what it feels like. Like it doesn't matter if his brother is gonna completely get destroyed in the process, or make him the king. Maybe that's what he's taking a gamble on Staz. With his power. I think eventually he probably wants to make him the king. Or whatever. I don't know.
I think there's also a part of revenge going on in there. Because remember what Liz said about the Wolf King?
With the father and mother.
The father and mother. There might be a little part of, like, where Staz is, like, him or Staz are the rightful heir to the throne or something.
Yeah.
Maybe we got a little bit of some, like, Hamlet going on or something.
Ooh.
Shakespeare. A little Shakespeare is the blood's lad.
There art be thou Staz, thy king shall be.
Ooh.
So fancy.
I
Doth
will.
thee brats
Zuga-an.
thy kill, thus king.
I.
I don't know. I don't know what's going from there.
I.
Like, I don't even know where to take it from there.
What if Liz? What if Liz is actually the one who he's getting the.
That's what he's like ignoring her on purpose, or something.
I don't know.
No, I doubt it.
I love
Character.
Liz.
Plus, she's got her own job, so
That's true. She's like.
She's like
to
Hades or something.
I wonder if she ages.
do they all age?
I don't know because I mean, Stas got older, but it didn't really show Braz getting older at the same time. He kind of
Yeah, Braz looks like he's been the same throughout all that time. So
yeah.
maybe they stop aging at a certain point. I don't know. It's vampires, you know.
Then that mean Liz would get older. Liz is vampire, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Liz is adorable, but when she got the stuffed animal, that was so cute.
so tsundere. It's not like I wanted it.
It's not like I want it. I loved it. She was so cute. So adorable, bubbles.
What do you guys think of the actual king right now, Wolf? Do you think he's a werewolf? You think he's like related to the?
I think he's Wolf's dad.
I thought it was Wolf's dad. That's what I assumed.
I'm pretty sure.
No, yeah, I'm not sure if
Because
it's
Wolf was
Yeah.
Wolf's a bastard son, isn't he?
Yeah. He's half
Yeah.
werewolf. That's why he has to like contain his powers or whatever. He can only let him out for a certain amount of time.
Yeah. So then, assuming that the king had relations with some woman and then
He
produced a
put it
bastard
in
son.
her-
What?
Nothing. I was gonna
And-
get dirty. But I kept
Yeah. So I just assume it could be another Shakespearean reference with bastard son overtaking his dad and helping reinstate the king.
Yeah.
probably. I could see that happen. That Wolf would actually become
I was
the
gonna say
heir.
that was another one. Wolf. What if Wolf is supposed to be?
There, if you really look into it, there's points that have been kind of revealed that it is a possibility because remember he's like, oh, I don't care about taking over any of these territories or anything like that. But when Fuyumi's like, oh, but because she listened to that story of that little creature fox thingy or whatever that is,
Yeah.
and like she's like, oh, I'll be praying for you, you know, and stuff like.
Yeah.
And then he kind of like, oh, I guess I wouldn't mind if that happened. You know, maybe that's kind of it might be foreshadowing that. I don't
Oh
know.
yeah. I wouldn't
If
mind
that's-
seeing Wolf become.
Because I don't see Stas one to be the leader of like all of the
Nah.
world.
No. Not
Unless it was to help Fuyumi.
Yeah.
That would
yeah.
be so
well, yeah.
lame.
Then he would, but that'd be really lame. Yeah.
That would be
I'm just
so
saying.
lame.
No, I agree. Yeah, he would only do it if it was to help him in a goal that he has.
Possibly, Stas might be the one that is chosen by Braz, but then Stas will choose Wolf because Wolf is like his best friend. They have a lot of fights, friendly fights.
Yeah, I love them.
They're bros.
That was another reference to like just typical shonen like anime and manga when they were walking away and they like high-fived each other and everyone's like, what's with the cheesy high five? What's going
Tag,
on?
you're
the
it.
tag. Oh yeah, the tag. Everyone's like, that was really dumb. I was like, that was really cute. I really like Wolf. I'm enjoying him as a character. I hope we get to see more of him soon. What did you guys think of him?
Oh, he was cool and all, but
Yeah.
he needs a lot more development. But he did get quite a bit of development while he was protecting Fuyumi because we saw more of the side of him like not being the boss, And it was
Yeah.
really cool how the first meeting between Stas and Wolf, the first meeting we saw, how his subordinates like, oh, I feel the tension building up, oh my gosh, and then they just high five each other.
Yeah.
He's a cool character. Like I put him pretty much like I think I put him like barely above Stas when it comes to like likable characters. I like a little bit more likable than Stas.
Oh really?
Stas, I'm not a big fan of those characters that just. There are some characters from some series that I do like that are kind of like, oh, I don't care what happens, I'm just gonna jump in or whatever. But Staz isn't one of them. I don't really like Staz when it comes to that. He just annoys me at some points.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but
I
it is
like
epic. Yeah, some epic parts though.
Yeah, I like his nonchalant attitude and the idea. I also like his whole when he was fighting off against Akimu or whatever his name was, the guy who kept grabbing everybody else's limbs. What's his name? Dazza,
Yeah, I think it is Akimu or something. Probably.
It was Akimu, yeah.
Akimu.
Yeah, it is
Oh,
Akimu.
yay.
Yeah.
I liked when they were having that standoff and talking about what power meant to each of them.
Yeah.
And Akimu was like, power is beautiful, and Staz was like, power is like annoying or a burden. He said it's a burden. I really
That was epic.
liked,
That was epic.
that was such an epic part, and I just love that mindset. I love characters who have that mindset because it's so different. Like, you see so many characters striving for this power and like just wanting to rule over everything, and Staz is just like, if I can do what I want to do to be happy,
I'd rather
he
be
already
reading
has
manga
that.
right now.
Yeah, like I just like that. Like he
wants to be
knows,
normal.
he knows what makes him happy. Like you see characters that are always really torn about like what to do and like what makes them happy, whereas he never has any hesitation. He just goes by instinct because he knows what'll make him happy. And like, I mean, sometimes he's like selfish because of it, because like if it's gonna further his own goals, he's more likely to do it. But like, he doesn't have any hesitation because of that, because he just knows what he wants to do. Like, I like that lack of hesitation that he has.
That definitely can set him up for some pretty entertaining, intense moments in the series. That's kind of like, I guess, like a thing they can use to create moments like that, like just like crazy moments, because he's just like, oh, I just don't care. You know, usually if a character had some sort of more of a logic, or like would think about things a bit more, a lot of the situation that did happen wouldn't have happened. You know, because the way Staz is. So yeah, it kind of like without Staz's personality, this wouldn't be Blood Lad. This wouldn't be a show.
Exactly. So. Yeah, I think Staz brings a lot of personality to the story. I think it's one of the reasons it's like very entertaining. I mean, all the characters, like, I think bring something to the story, and like
except for Yumi.
She brings something. She's got a purpose.
Oh, my legs are disappearing.
Wasn't
Oh, where's the
necessarily-
blood? Like, come on.
That part was so.
She's just like, oh, thank you. And he just shoves his thumb in there.
And then she's like all sensual, sucking on it. It's like, oh,
But there's
golly.
people
Oh
around.
golly. And then she like gets all
It could have been
flushed.
worse. It could have been Mysterious Girlfriend X type.
Oh my gosh.
Is
Like,
that bad? Oh.
Have you not seen Mysterious Girlfriend X?
I have not, but I
we should
really
read
want to
We
now.
need to read the manga. We need to read the manga from MangaPod, because the manga is actually very good. It's very good.
Yeah.
It's very good. It's
as long
like
as
10
there's
times better
sensual
than that.
sucking of fingers, I'm in.
Oh no, it's a
No.
lot worse than that.
No, I'm just saying. But
What was your
is it?
favorite?
What is
What was
it?
one of your favorite parts in the manga?
Mysterious Girlfriend X?
no.
Oh.
No, the one we're doing the episode on. The one we've been talking about for the past hour. I don't know, maybe that one.
You guys were talking about another manga, okay? I didn't know we'd finish that conversation.
Oh, that's funny.
What was your favorite part?
I had a lot of favorites. Golly. Somebody else go. I have a lot I need to figure.
It is hard, because there's favorite moments would probably be references for me, and I love it because there was Pokemon references, Dragon Ball Z references, and like just shonen overall references, and just everything, like just Japanese culture, and it's game references. That's like this series is like a heaven when it comes to references, because it happens like once every chapter at least, maybe, because like just during a regular fight, they're just having a fight, they're not even surrounded by any of that stuff, and still like references keep just jumping out during those fights itself. So it really is hard to choose a favorite one. I do want to say Kamehameha, but that's like, we kind of decided that that's like our favorite reference.
Yeah.
So that one doesn't count. So Dazza, you got one in mind?
Yeah, I really liked when they went back to the human realm, actually.
That was
Uh,
really funny.
And learning about, firstly, how Stas interacts in the human world, his vampire ability as well, and then for Yumi kind of coming to terms with the fact that she's not really human. And that to survive in the human world, you need to kind of have this element of you have to exist in the minds of people, and if you don't, you disappear, like Marty McFly. It's true. It was like Marty McFly.
Yeah.
And I just thought that was one of the better chapters as well, because it was the fish out of water chapter, and it felt familiar because it's the human realm and we've seen it everywhere. So having these characters who we've learned exist in this other world and this other entire dimension, and they come into the human realm and they're a bit like, it's different here. It's like, well, duh. Of course, I am waiting for him to go to Akiba. I want to see that chapter.
He was so excited. He's like, I can't go there.
I have to be prepared. That was great.
Okay, I listed some. Okay, I liked when we first met Liz. I really enjoyed her introduction. I really liked when Vlad or Braz and Stas met again, and he removed the bullet, and that was super epic. And then Stas just like killed the zombies, just like that was really cool. And I liked the part when they went back to the human world. It was also very good, and I enjoyed the fight between Akimu and Stas.
Oh yeah,
those were my favorite because I just thought that was a really well done fight, and like the art. We'll talk about art too because we are running up on time, but we'll talk about art really quick more. I thought that the art during the battle scenes was really clean. It was super clean, and also just like the angles on it were a little bit more unique too. I thought that, and also like just their positioning and everything.
The shadowing
was very good. And
great.
the monster, like some of the monsters' designs, at first I was like, there aren't really that unique of character designs, but the further it goes in, like Akimu's character design, I really enjoyed that. And we only saw him for a few minutes, but the second guy to the King Wolf, one of his police people or generals or whatever, his dragon becoming his hand thing was so cool. Like that was nothing. Like I was just like, what? And thought that was super, super awesome. So like the art started getting more and more creative as it went, like design wise. I thought it got more creative as it went. And I also just think but the art from the beginning was very good. Just overall, that was very good. So I kind of segued from my moments into art. But if you guys want to talk about your opinions on the art.
No, I got a couple more moments I want to
mention. If you got more moments, we can do that.
Oh no, we're talking about art, Yoki. We can't do moments anymore.
Oh shit, I'm out of here.
Just shut your camera off again.
But no, these two moments, it involves actually Stas both of the times when he was like younger. Like it was kind of like during a flashback moment.
Okay.
The second moment, I'll get to my first one later, but the second moment was when we saw that little stone. Remember we saw that little stone?
Oh, yeah!
We later find out that was a 5-meter long stone, and he just like crushed it into this little tiny stone. That was awesome. So I actually stared at that page for a little bit. I was like, whoa, mind blown, you know. And my favorite moment would probably have to be, apart from the Kamehameha, would probably have to be the moment when Wolf and Stas meet for the very first time. That flashback, remember when he jumped out? And then that whole fight itself, and it was really funny because there was another reference to anime there because he's like, "What are you doing here?" And Stas is like, "I want to be Hayao Miyazaki." that was just great. That was just awesome. I just cracked up on that. And then of course the part where he's just like, "Why didn't you fight back? Because if I fought back, I'd kill you. Stand no chance against me." That was a very epic moment, and along with that reference, that whole scene was just great. You know, that little flashback. So. Stas as a kid, I think I like him more than Stas as a grown-up.
Really? I like him both. I think he's a great character.
He has a lot of fun moments throughout the series. It's good stuff.
Yeah.
But art. Dazza, you have anything to say about the art?
The art, I thought it was nice. because I saw the anime first, I was thinking it was going to be more of the Soul Eater style art, not the manga Soul Eater style art, because that's weird. I don't know if you've read Soul Eater, but
I've
the
read
art's
I
a bit,
haven't read all of it. I've read part
it's a
of
bit
it.
strange. But I was like coming in thinking, oh, it's going to be like really messy and it's going to be lines everywhere and it's going to be very confusing. And I was very happy that it wasn't. It was very clean in a lot of the parts. And it was very easy to distinguish pretty much everything that's going on, including the fights, the references, the backgrounds. Pretty much everything was very nice. It was clean. And everything looked a bit different as well. Like you have like the demon world, which looks demonish. You have the human world, which looks humanish, and then you have this other dimension, which is otherworldly.
Totally just like all over the place.
Yeah, and I'm just like, what? Wow, this is awesome. Because I had the floating islands, and I've got a thing for floating islands.
Keep that to yourself, bro.
But what was I gonna say? I really liked. I always say this. I really liked the 2-page panels that they had because they really had a lot of upgrades in terms of style of art and how they were done and all that kind of stuff, as well as the color pages. There were a bunch of color pages. And the color pages looked amazing because normally when you see color pages, sometimes they look like anime. And I'm just like, if I want to.
And the king was wearing a pink shirt. Did you notice
Right?
that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, damn. That guy is like freaking like buffed up playing golf, and he's the king. He's wearing a pink shirt.
He's pink.
It was so funny.
Great.
So yeah, I like the color pages probably the most. Yeah.
Yeah, for me, any moment where like it was just kind of like a panel where it was just like the face of somebody and it was just like shaded completely. Pretty much when Staz would like make a point or something, or when Wolf would just make a point on something, like those like panels would just completely like nicely shaded and like so much detail into their face. Those are my favorite moments because those are like poster worthy. If they were like colored and everything, like those are like I would frame that panel and like hang it on my wall. That's how cool it looked. Like it's epic.
Their epic poses, their battle poses and stuff are so cool.
Even Beru had some moments. She like her face would change. She would get like these like cat eyes, and she would be like fight me if you don't defeat me, then she's gone forever. And then you'd see her like shaded face with like just like serious eyes. That was some good stuff.
The manga knows how to use shades. Those two, I'm sure. The art was awesome.
That was, like I said, that was one of my favorite parts. That's something that like completely stood out for me.
Mm-hmm.
Ever since like I just started reading throughout the first chapter and onwards, and it even got better and better with those shading moments and the like double like spreads, and it just got better and better. And I could see it even getting better, because it's still ongoing.
And like the eyes and stuff are very unique. Like a lot of the eyes. I think Staz's eyes stand out to me most. Like I really like his facial expression, even though
their eyes change a lot actually.
Yeah.
Like the way their eyes, like the actual like pupils and stuff, how they look, like those like epic panels. Every time there would be like a different type of pupil. Like even like going back to Beru again, she had a lot of like moments where like her eyes, because she's a very like sneaky character. Because she like goes through different dimensions all the time, so she had a lot of those moments where she had like cat looking, and like her eyes would look like cat eyes, and like her pupils would look different. And it was really cool detail that the added. So
I agree.
A lot of detail.
I also really enjoyed Frankenstein. Yeah, we didn't really talk about him, but he was great.
His coffee line was fantastic. I'm just like, this is cool. Yeah, he's cool.
Yeah,
drinking coffee from test tubes is the best.
It was so great. I kept thinking about Yu Yoku whenever Braz was making tea. And I almost tweeted that picture where he was like, I found this down there, and I just had to hurry back and make it before I forgot the recipe. She was like, you weenie tea brewer. And I was like, lol. I almost tweeted at you, but I forgot.
It did kind of look like me, I guess.
It made me laugh. It made me chuckle a little bit.
He opens the door and it's just like,
just making tea. I loved it. Okay, let's, since we came up on the hour here, let's wrap up and give our final thoughts and ratings really quick. Who wants to go first?
I call last.
I call second to
I
last.
call second last.
Oh, Dazza goes first.
Well, I thoroughly enjoyed Bloodlad. It was kind of it was like took me a while to read it because there's lots of dialogue, and the panels look really nice, and it was very witty. It was funny. It was enjoyable. I like the character designs. I like the story. Well, I mostly like the story. There are a few parts where I'm just like, you were like right there, and they've just put like another twist in here just to kind of put the story go longer thing. I'm just like, But I still enjoy it nonetheless. And then the major twist at the end was like, whoa, this is awesome. But it was expected, but it was still awesome.
It was so expected.
It was so expected.
Yeah. But it was really good. It was really nice.
I didn't care.
And so yeah, I really enjoyed it. So I'd probably give it about a 7, I think.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I agree pretty much exactly with everything you said. I loved the characters a lot. I thought the characters really great. I really enjoyed Staz, and I'm excited to see more of him. And I really like where the story is going, even though, like Dazza, you were saying that there's some points where I was like, oh, this is really cliche. I totally expected this to happen. But I feel like the wit and the humor and the references and just how great like a lot of the character interactions are, I think that made up for it for me. And the fact that it's like parodying so many other shonen manga and like just the atmosphere and like don't know what's gonna happen with the brother. Like I thought there were so many different interesting characters, and I overall really enjoyed it and loved the art. So I'm going to give it an 8 because I thought it was really great and I really, really enjoyed it. And I'm excited to watch the anime. This makes me more excited to watch the anime, even though it's alright.
Yeah, I would say probably personally, I'd probably watch it more in anime form than read it more in manga form. Yeah.
Huh. Well, I'm even more excited to use it then.
That's pretty crazy because like when it comes to manga, you want like really good art. That's one of the things you look for, and this has really good art. So it has like one of those big parts about a manga that it did correctly. But my rating, well, I agree with what both of you said, but the main thing that's kind of dragging me down is the story itself. It just felt cheap. Like even if I tried throughout this whole podcast to look at it from the way that Dazza said, how it's like it's parodying, but that would feel kind of cheap because it didn't start off that way, at least for me, in my opinion.
Well,
or like the way it felt. I don't know.
Well, that makes sense. If you feel it's not parodying it properly, then you give it a bad rating.
Yeah, no, I'm going that, but that's pretty much the only thing. Like the story wasn't horrible. It was cliche, but it wasn't horrible. There's much worse stories out there. So even for a cliche story, it was still pretty decent. It's not something where I was just like, oh, what the hell is going on? I was like yelling at my like iPad or anything. No, but it was cliche. There was a lot of moments where you see what happens. There wasn't much surprises going on. But it was still very entertaining. Like I said, the references was like the best thing about this series, along with the art. That just made it. The character relationships were kind of weak. That's another thing that kind of dumbed it down for me. But I think Dazza's a 7. I think that's a pretty fair rating because still I pretty much read this in like 2 sittings, and it's a lot of dialogue and. There wasn't a part where I was like actually just like bored and did not want to read because it kept you entertained, even though it wasn't the greatest story. It wasn't anything like new or just like, oh my gosh, check out Bloodlad, but it's still something that's worth a check out, especially if you like references. That's my favorite thing about it. Kamehameha, all right?
Yeah, the moment's the best. Yeah. What's your rating?
7 out of 10.
Okay. Awesome.
Can I explain myself with the anime thing as well?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Oh, fine.
What? I said yes.
I felt that the anime kind of did do it a little bit better. at the first 2 chapters because it was a little bit more faster paced and the humor came off a lot better in the anime, because in the manga where they had like the panels of just like non-movement, in the anime they had movement, which
Yeah,
made
you're
more
right.
sense.
This manga did have a lot of those moments where it's just kind of like a page was pretty much spent on like just like a confused face, like just
Yeah.
like Stab,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
just like freaking out or something because he saw a human girl. So I guess I could see the anime's like pacing kind of like making it better. I don't know. I really am looking forward to checking out the anime.
And plus no, even though the art of the manga is better, I prefer the style of the anime.
Damn,
That makes sense.
But-
Yeah.
that's
So-
interesting.
Is like because you said that Blood Lad anime is more like of that unique like Soul Eater style, right?
Yeah, it's got where I thought the style of Blood Lad the manga was a bit more simpler,
Oh.
whereas the anime was a lot more.
Complicated.
There was a lot more there, kind of,
Okay.
which and
A
it
lot more
makes it
going on.
and it felt more demonish, if that makes
Ooh,
sense.
I am so excited to
Yeah.
watch this anime now. Super excited. What, Doctor Dazza? Do you have the description for next week's manga?
I do. But
We
what are
are
we reading
going to
next?
be reading-
Oh no, hold on. Wait, do we want to do the description and then people can guess?
Yeah.
I honestly don't even know. I don't know what we're reading next week.
You
So-
have to make the schedule.
Yeah, that was like 3 or 4 weeks ago. I'm sorry.
It was too long ago.
All right.
All right, you guys read now.
You guys in chat, you have to guess.
Let's go.
Kuroki Tomoko is super popular high school girl who has had 50 years of dating experiences and 100 boys in the otome game world. In real life, she's a 15-year-old shut-in who has all the qualities of a mojo, a gloomy or an unpopular woman. Joki's face is hilarious. However, when school isn't going as she expected and she isn't as popular as she thought she was, she takes a look at herself in the mirror for the first time, and in a few years, she has some shocking revelations. ... So what are we reading, guys?
One Piece.
So guys, we're
Everybody's
reading
guessing
One
it.
Piece.
They've
Yeah,
got it.
Watamote,
Everybody's guessing it.
yeah.
Watamote. Yep.
That's something I'm really looking forward to read. I can't wait. How much? What are we reading? How many chapters?
We are reading chapters 1 through 43. 1
Really?
through 40. Oh!
Is
yes.
is that a monthly series or is that a weekly series?
I'm
Because
just
if that's like 40 pages per chapter, I'm
Oh,
gonna,
is it?
I don't
I
know.
don't think
I
I
really-
thought it was shorter. If we need to adjust it, we can, because 43 with 40 is a lot longer. It's too long. So. Yeah?
just gonna check. That was all.
Huh?
If it's weak,
Right.
I was gonna
Oh,
check.
okay,
what
you're
was
gonna check really
going
quick.
on.
Okay, we'll shout out our stuff really quick while Dazza is checking on chapter length and such for us. If you guys want to know about future releases, we have it all scheduled out until the end of the year. There might be like some shifting and stuff, but right now it's pretty much what we've got going on. And you can find that on our subreddit at reddit.com/r/mangapod. And there is the schedule completely on there. Our wonderful mod Ian linked it in the chat right now. And if you're watching this on YouTube, it'll be in the description down
Love
below.
you, Ian.
Yeah, hearts. So next week we're going to be reading that. I am Aaron of Happily Aaron. To shout out our stuff really quick, you can find me at youtube.com/happily-aaron, twitter.com/happily-aaron, happily-aaron.tumblr.com, happily-aaron at crunchyroll.com. It's Happily Aaron all over the place. So if you want to find me, you can find me at any of those places.
Damn. I just checked Watamote and it's actually about 14 pages per chapter, so
Oh, that should be fine then.
Yeah, that's gonna be a quick read then. That's gonna be a
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
quick read.
Sweet. So we're going to be reading a Watamote just really quick, you guys. We're going to be reading chapters 1 through 43 for next week.
yes.
Is that like all of that's out, or
That's
is that
all
more
it's
out?
out.
Ooh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Gonna be cut out. But yeah, you can find me at Yokorama Game Talk on YouTube, where I do not talk about games. You can also find me on Yokorama News, where I do episode reviews and not do much news. You can find me on Twitter at Yokorama Talks, where I retweet people and tweet
Hey,
about.
you do talk on your Yokorama Talks.
Do I talk?
Well, you do because you're on Twitter, so you talk.
Ah. At least I do one thing correctly. Yeah. And then on Tumblr is just Yokorama, and I also actually started an Instagram where I just been posting a bunch of random stuff like Attack on Titan pictures and just like pictures of my purchases on Steam and just a bunch of other random stuff. So just search Yokorama and you can find me on Instagram, and it's cool. So that's good.
Awesome.
Hi there. If you want to watch me, you can do so on youtube.com/fightingfornippon, where I do anime reviews, episode reviews, first impressions, as well as other coverage about anime. I also have youtube.com/the Doctor Dazza, where I post random videos, including touching Guernseys for Aaron, very
Oh,
creepily,
touching
just like Yoku, being very creepy right now.
What are you talking about? Okay, go on.
I also have a Twitter where you can follow me. I will retweet you, I will respond to you, and maybe we'll get to know each other very much a lot better. You can do that at Doctor Dazza.
Perfect. Dazza, you have the most sensual.
And I also have
like,
fightingfornippon.com, which is my Tumblr, which I just do crap on. So that's cool.
You do great crap on it.
Yeah.
Next week.
So if you're not watching these channels now, then I clearly can't flirt with you guys enough. And we'll have to get to know each other a lot.
Apparently his sensual come-ons are not working. And he's
But what about the other one that's up there? What about this one?
our person who Kuroko is filling in for, our lovely Kuroko, the four of us, Dodger, will be back next week. She is doing Bullseye University this week, so that's really exciting. She's getting dunked in milkshakes and doing DIYs and stuff. You can find that at, I think it's bullseyeuniversity.com, I think is where that's live streaming. So she is doing that right now. So, yeah, that's why she's going to be here. But she will be here next week for sure. So we're really excited to welcome her back and finally have the quadruple team back, since it's been forever.
By next week, by next episode, it's going to be like a month since all of us have been together in one episode. It's crazy.
It's really sad. So next week,
it's going to go mental.
We're going to make it happen, and we're going to
That is
going to
be like the
ground.
episode. It's going to be the MangaPod.
We're all going to be
like,
even.
And it's going to be Watamote as well. I mean,
oh yeah, that's going to be
we're all going to like cry and cringe and be like, this was my childhood.
I can't wait.
Awesome. So excited. We will be here next week, same time, same place, 7:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time here at twitch.tv/happyaaron. We will see you guys next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.